So good afternoon. We will start our next lecture, that is on the ergonomics, and it is particularly focused on the workstation design and the analysis. So these will be the contents of our lecture: definition, what are the objectives, the field which interacts with the ergonomics, the importance of ergonomics, what are the different approaches of ergonomics, advantages and disadvantages, applications and inclusion. So as you see, the ergonomics is made up of two words, ergo and nomos. It is derived from a Greek word in which the meaning of ergo is work and nomos means law. So if we combine these two words, we get a word ergonomics. So that if we combine these two words also, so that shows that in which we study the laws of work. That means how the work is to be done. So what is ergonomics? So as I said, it is derived from the ergon. It means that the law, it is defined as how the workplace and the equipment can be best used and designed for comfort, safety, efficiency, and productivity. So you see, these four words are very important. Uh, how the workplace and the equipment. So this workplace, the human being will be interacting, equipment, human being will be interacting. So it is about their utilization, how best they can be used, and it should be designed for the comfort, safety, at the same time efficiency and the productivity. So that means the worker should be able to work comfortably and safely with the equipment, and at the same time the work should be productive and efficient way of working should be there. So I think the definition of ergonomics is clear to you now. So it is a law in which we decide that how the workplace and the equipments can be best used for design and comfort, design for comfort, safety, efficiency, and the productivity of the human being working for a organization. So sometimes ergonomics is also replaced by a word human factor. So it is a scientific discipline concerned with the understanding of interaction among the human and other element of the system. So human and other elements, what are the other elements? Equipments and workplace. And the profession that applies the theories, principle, data, and the method to design in order to optimize the well-being and overall system performance. So that means we have to study that a human being or the worker is interacting with the workplace and the equipment in a comfortable environment and a safe environment, and with the efficient methods of working, so that the productivity is increased and overall system performance is increased. So this is exactly what an ergonomic is. So I think in one of our previous lecture, somebody was asking, and he was interested for knowing ergonomics. So I hope that I have made the things clear to you. Simply, the ergonomics is a branch of science which deals with the people and their working environment. So it is a very simple definition. There are a number of definitions. The ergonomics is for worker safety, health, and maintaining the healthy working environment. So third word is the healthy working environment. It is also defined as the study of the worker in their working environment. That means study of worker means how productive they are, whether they are able to work comfortably, efficiently, and their working style is productive or not. At the same time, ergonomics is concerned with designing or arranging the workplaces. That means the equipment, tools, products, and the system so that they fit the people who use them and maximum output can be obtained from them. So ergonomics extend beyond the proper posture of the work. Uh, Earlier, the very crude meaning of ergonomics was taken as how comfortably a person can sit or stand with the machine and interact. But now it is a very inclusive definition which is concerned with the overall system performance and the working environment, safety, efficiency, and productivity. So it's not only it is concerned with the posture of the workers. Now, what are the objectives of ergonomics? The first objective is to improve the relationship between people, equipment, workplace, and the environment. So, if there are good relation, if they are in good relation with each other, only then the manufacturing can be productive. Second is to increase the work efficiency and the productivity. Third is to promote safety, comfort at the workstation. Next is to reduce the physical workloads. Okay, so if sometimes the things are being picked up manually, so they give the more fatigue. So a better efficient way of doing that work can be explored. Uh, Next is to minimize the risk of injury. So it is related with the safety, illness, again health, accident and errors without compromising the. So it is important without compromising the process. It's not like that if some manufacturing environment is hazardous, so the people will not work over there. If they are not working, the productivity will go down. So we have to provide an atmosphere with such tools, modern tools and tackles, so that they are not compromising the productivity. Now, what are the job factors? So, in order to give a better working environment and workplace, we have to identify what are the risk factors in a job. So, the uh, first thing is that uh, working in the awkward postures and positions. So if somebody is working, overhead building, so it is a awkward posture. We cannot work for a long time. Prolonged sitting and standing. So if a worker is standing for a long time and there is no stool around to sit or there is no sitting arrangement, so that will cause fatigue. Then bending, reaching, and stretching. So sometimes a worker has to bend himself to go to a part which is not accessible, or the tool is at faraway place, or he has to stretch the arm like that. Driving for extending period of time. So this is especially concerned with the driving habits, because that is also one of the area of working. Heavy lifting and illumination. Illumination means if proper lighting is not there at the workplace. So, awkward lifting, lifting in combination with twisting, pushing, pulling, and carrying. Accidents, slips, trips, falls, and if there is excessive vibration and noise, and if there is a repetition of the work or the nature of work is like that, and if there are contact stresses, suppose somebody is not sitting comfortably, so he will be developing the bending stresses within the contact. Then thermal conditions are not good. So all these are not all, but these are the main job risk factors which have been identified. There can be many more according to the uh, type of the work or the type of the workplace. Now, what are the different approaches which are used in the ergonomics or to follow the principle? So, body mechanics. This is the first approach. Proper lifting techniques. Body mechanics means how to what height the our hand can go, how low we can bend, how we can rotate ourselves. So body mechanics, then proper lifting techniques, then exercise, stretching ourselves, and improve posture. So these are the five approaches we follow whenever we design a workplace or the working atmosphere or assembly place like that. So you see here, uh, it is a wrong way of lifting a job or a piece of work or a box. So it will cause the all fatigue over this. So there will be a problem with the twisting, there will be a problem with the lifting, knee problems. Okay, there can be slips. It can be it can give to the serious injury. So right way of doing is this: one should sit comfortably on the knee, and then slowly he has to lift it. So he has to put this portion is totally relieved, and this is also not stretched in an awkward position. So this is how where the ergonomics will play its role. Now the posture check. If there are increased stress and decreased circulation. So you see here a person working on a desktop, okay, and he is sitting straight. So there is a increased stress at this knuckle and at the wrist, okay, and also you see this angle with which he is seeing. So typical desktop typing posture that increases the muscle fatigue and injury risk. So high risk posture is there. So now if you see, if we follow this, so this desk height is predefined. This is adjustable, and you see this here the keyboard is put on the top. Okay, so there is a stress on the wrist and the ankle. So instead, what we have done, so a tray, hanging tray has been provided on which the keyboard is there. So the stress there are no increased stress here, and this is also relieved, and the visual position is also improved. So it is after the study of the ergonomics. Now posture check. So sometimes you see, so the patient, okay, taking some inhaler. So a headset rather than cradling the telephone. So it is, you see, no, it is taking, it's not a inhaler, it is a telephone. Earlier you see, this handset, people used to follow this. And nowadays also people are, instead of this handset, people are using the mobile phone in this posture. So this shoulder and head, they get the severe problems nowadays. So the posture should be proper. Now the alignment problems. The alignment problems you see here. So if this is perfectly at 90 degree and it is being drilled like this, incorrect position is this, okay, and the correct position is this. You see. So one can see the the style of the hand. Here, the worker or the typewriter person is using the thumb first and then this forefinger at the right position. So this is the correct position. Similarly here. Okay. So this is how the standards are set. So this you see the visual conditions. It should be between 18 to 28 inches between the monitor, or nowadays if there are no monitors there can be laptop, there can be desktop. The top of screen at slightly below the eye level. So you may need to adjust this height of your monitor accordingly. Clearance under the work table, this is important. The screen position to avoid the reflected glare. Of course, nowadays you'll say the HD screens are available, but prolonged use of that also causing problem, multiple problem, eye problem. Then the shoulder relief relax, the forearms, see here this, and the hands in a straight line, lower back supported, and forearms level or tilted slightly down. So these are all corrections we have seen. Thighs and tilted slightly. So and this feet flat on the floor. So these are the areas which needs attention while designing a workplace. So in order to improve this, so you have to arrange your workplace. So arrange tools around your desk or the workplace so that you minimize the distance. It's important so that you minimize the distance you have to reach for them. Divide your workspace into three zones. So you see, number one is the reference zone, number two is the secondary zone, work zone, and primary zone. So primary work zone should be nearer to you. Okay. Secondary work zone should be in between, and the reference zone should be far. Okay. So this way, the primary work zone, the distance from elbow to hand, the distance from elbow to hand. Okay, things you touch on the daily basis. Secondary work zone within the arm reach. So use this zone to position those items that you use frequently but don't need all the time. And the reference zone is outside your arm stretch. So you see it is outside your arm stretch. So outside your arm stretch, use this zone for your least often reached items. So if you need it very rarely. So to be ergonomic, a design must fit the user. It should be easy to use. It should improve the comfort. It should improve the performance of the system, and it should improve the health and the safety. So these are the good conditions for a good ergonomic design. So now this is a chair. So we can analyze this case. So which is ergonomically designed chair. So the padding, it is HDPE, high density padding, and material should be easy to clean. Okay. So this is the one thing. Armrest should be adjustable, comfortable armrest. Okay. So it can tilt this way, tilt that way. Okay. So it should be easily adjustable. Then there should be lever to adjust the height from here to here, okay, from floor to this, because this will vary. The chair may be quite often used by a taller person or by a small person, with short in height. Then freely mover caster. So these are the caster wheels. So which makes which enables the chair to move all around in the workplace. Now there should be a adjustable headrest in order to so that the worker can lean sometime on the backside. Okay. Large backrest. So this should be large to support the entire back and should have the ability to recline. So that means it should be able to move backward and then go forward when released. Okay. So this reclining behavior is important. Now there should be adjustable lumbar support. What is this lumbar support? You know that there is a lumbar bone in our backbone. Okay, so that is very important for keeping our back straight and comfortable. So this adjustable lumbar support should be there according to the height of the person. Now there should be ability to swivel. That means it should be able to rotate the table. The base of the wheel should be also rotating, and this wheel, this chair should also rotate around the vertical axis. So this base with five or more pedestal for stability. So this is important. These arms or the ribs, we can say, if they are more in numbers, the stability of the base will be high. Otherwise, it will try to topple. Okay. So these are the similarly we can design a working stool, we can design a working bench, we can design a assembler table, we can design uh, what you can say computer table for working on a PC. So what is the importance of the ergonomics? Number one is it increases the productivity. So best ergonomic solution increase the productivity. So why? Because it reduces the unwanted tension and awkward sitting position of the body. Also, ergonomic focuses in making the work easier. It makes you work easier and with more comfort. Thereby, the stress is reduced and uh, risks are reduced, and it enhances the satisfaction. Once you are satisfied with the working atmosphere, so naturally the productivity will increase. Second point is it reduces the cost. How? Uh, Ergonomics is a one-time investment. So if you are going to, design a lab, or if you are going to, say, make a new factory, so naturally your layout of machines, your working area, all should be ergonomical thoughts, embedded. So ergonomics is focused about maintaining the better health of the worker. It can further reduce the cost of the compensation uh, that would be made by the injured or unhealthy staff. So sometimes it do happen that a worker is working at a third floor or a much higher floor, and the required number of safety measures have not been taken, or they have not been ergonomically designed. So what happens? So in that case, the chances of mishap of that worker are likely. So once the mishap occurs, so you have to pay the huge amount of compensation because of the existing laws and all, and for the sustainability of the supporting of the family. So once the things have been designed properly, so that's why we say it is a one-time investment. If you have invested more earlier, so you will reduce this cost which you have to bear at a later stage. It also reduces the indirect and the opportunity cost that could have incurred due to the injury. Okay. Third is that it improves the quality of work. How? Because ergonomics favors the favorable environment where the workers can work efficiently. So naturally, they will produce a quality job. As the ergonomics improves, level of satisfaction in the worker, so quality of the work increases. And other reason, it helps to reduce the absenteeism. Why? You see, if some person is working at the shop floor and there is neat and clean atmosphere, maybe because of the AC or because of the proper ventilations, so it will give the more comfort to the worker. So he will try to be present on the work daily just because of the comfort. and healthy working environment. Assurance to the worker as their workplace is safer. Okay, so this act as a motivator and more focus on working environment and workers help make them feel valued and boost of the morale. So these were the importance of the ergonomics. Now application areas or the field with which the ergonomics interact: anthropometry, psychology, operation research, surgery field, physics, orthopedics, the branch which deals with the bones management and their injury and then rehabilitation. Then physiology, statistics, engineering, biomechanics, industrial hygiene, and industrial medicine. So nowadays, this biomechanics is a very burning topic. So here, the lot many people are working in the biomechanics area to improve the things by making use of the material storage and handling. So this is an important aspect. So we'll see what are the areas which can be of interest. So clear and mark transport routes. So you have to mark these routes on the shop floor. Suppose there is a shop floor and different machines are there. Number of machines are there. If I draw it like this, and there is a forklift truck. So if the truck has to move here, then truck has to move here. So these paths should be clearly defined. Okay? Clear mark the transport route. Provide ramps for 5 to 8% inclination instead of the small stair. So sometimes it do happen. Suppose and there is a upper floor and there is a floor is there. So what we do, we normally provide the stairs, maybe two or three. But the ergonomic says instead of providing the stair, you provide the ramps of the smaller inclination. So this inclination should be less than 5 to 8 degrees. Should be kept as low as possible. So when it is low, this ramp will be longer. So it doesn't matter, but that will be safer. Use mechanical devices for lifting, lowering, moving heavy material. So as we have seen in the previous slides, the person was lifting that box manually. So instead of using the manual lever, so for lifting and lowering, you should use the lifting device. Instead of carrying the heavy weights, divide them into the smaller light weights. That is 2 into 10 kg instead of 20 kg. Okay? So it is like this. Suppose you have to pick up 200 boxes. So make small lots. Okay, it can be easily picked up. So 40 kg is the maximum weight which a person can be allowed to lift. But normally it should be kept low. So 20 kg, 20 to 40 kg can be made into different batches. Combine heavy lifting with physically lighter tasks. So if somebody is doing the job where the heavy lifting is required, so that his job content should be like that, that his task is slightly physically lighter. Now, hand tools are very important. So when we are dealing with the hand tools, so what are the precautions we should follow from the ergonomic point of view? Use hand tools for operation repeated in the same place. So instead of using picking up the things, we should use the hanging tools. It is like this. You must have seen or say this is a crane, and this crane has to move in the shop floor from left to right or from this side, right side to the this side. So there is a switch. So if every time the worker has to go to the floor and operate the switch, or say switches are provided on the wall. Okay, nearby where there is a switch box is there. So this is not very comfortable. So what happens? We use the pendant type of the switch box on which there are number of switches. So this pendant means it is hanging and it can be lowered or it can be taken up. So instead of using the wall mounted switchboard, we can use the hanging pendant. Provide hand supports when using the precision tools. Okay. So this is also very important because sometimes because of the imbalance of the body, the precision tools may fall. Provide the hand tools with a grip of proper thickness. So hand diameter 30 to 40 millimeter and the handle length must be 125 millimeter and the size to fit a male hand. So it is like this, you must have seen. Suppose if I make it correctly, so this is a screwdriver or a tool like that. So this dia hand grip should be like that. That this dia should be 30 to 40 millimeter, and this length it is the length which is this 125. Okay, and it should be like that. A male hand can be you know made as a standard so that he can grip it properly. Provide a home for each tool. So as I have told in one of the lecture also, there should be a place for everything and everything should be in place. So there should be a properly marked the space for the tool so that at the time of the need the tool can be properly located and the time is not wasted. Now if the instead of lighting, so increase use of the lighting. Daylight, we have to provide a working atmosphere in such a way that we can maximum use the daylight. So nowadays you must have seen in the shop floors, there are sheds like this. So here we provide the you know uh, vent for the daylight. Okay, and inside behind below the roof, the artificial uh, lights are given, maybe illumination in the form of illumination of battery operated lighting fixtures and all. Light up the work area evenly. So there should be proper light on the workpiece, sufficient light for working, local lighting for the precision work, remove the shining surfaces nearby and avoid glare. So China padegi. Okay. So these are the some precautions when designing a workplace from the lighting point of view. Then the production machine safety. Locate the controls in the sequence of operation. So this means that as the operation is going on, the control should be also like that. So say first we have to measure. So if there are measuring tools, so it should be located prior to cutting. Okay, then there should be cutting tools, and then there should be gripping. So the control should be in the sequence of the operation. Make display and signal easy to distinguish and easy to read. So sometimes we provide the color scheme, which is not very comfortable. People with the color blindness may be there. So we should follow both visual and symbolic display signals in the shop floor. You must have seen. So sometimes it is written red light is there, signal is there, and they say stop. So they write here also so stop. Okay. So visual display and as well as the signal display, this is must for machine safety. Use properly fixed guards and interlocking device. Okay. So fixed guards means the guards with the proper mesh and all. Okay, which are not able to remove. Suppose a drive is there and a motor is running. A, a motor is running a gearbox. So this is gearbox. and this is a motor. So, and on the side of gearbox, this shaft, something is to be mounted, and it is running. So, preferably they should be in an enclosure, fixed enclosure. So, it should be like this. And when needed, we can open this enclosure and we can take it down. And there should be interlocking device. Okay, if the gearbox is not properly attached, the motor will not start. So there should be interlocking device. So get active at work. So this is a guide, very important guide, which will which is taken from a standard. So it says for getting active at work, shoulder shrugs. Okay, you move your shoulders upward, and you get a new energy. Then neck tilts. So this also uh, uh, give rejuvenate the uh, worker. Then wrist forearm stretching. So this we are doing. Place the hands palms to close to you, and you get a new energy. Back up the hip stretch, so like this. Upper body stretch, so you can watch here. Hamstring stretch, so it is you take a pause. Okay. Upper back stretch, so it is on the back side. Most of us normally do. Wrist forearm stretch, so it is like this. Hand finger stretch, so you keep the hand on the floor or on the table, and you do the stretching. Back stretch, so you see he's doing the back stretch. So side stretch and the neck stretch. So these are some of the important tricks and tips which will keep you active at the work. So you can display these things on the shop floor. Now, what are the principles of ergonomics? So there are 10 fundamental principles of ergonomics, which are number one, work in the neutral posture. So proper posture maintenance is necessary. Working too long in the C curve can cause a strain. So keep the proper alignment of neck and hands, wrists is important. Second principle is reduce the excessive workforce. So excessive pressure or the force at the joint can cause injury. So better to minimize the work that requires more physical labor. So do it with the machines. Third principle is keep everything in reach. So keep everything in the reach would help with the avoiding the unneeded stretching and strain. More or less principle is related with the maintaining good posture. Work at proper height. So if we have to work at a greater height, use proper stools. So it is what exactly this principle say. Working at the right makes things easier. Sometimes height can be maintained by adding extension or avoiding the extension on chair or table. Okay. So this is important. Reduce the excessive motion. So repetitive motion needs to be avoided. This causes disorder and numbness in the long run. Motion can motion scan can be reduced by use of the proper tools. Okay. So need not to suppose you have to tighten a screw. So if it is a long screw, so you have to keep on moving the screwdriver. But if I using a torque wrench, so I know how much torque it is required as per the size of that screw, length of the screw and the bolt size. Uh, so I can keep a value to that, and I can